Hello, and welcome to Chapter 10 of the Rodeo Management System demo. In this chapter, we will be talking about entering results and calculating payouts. Before entering scores and times, first RMS must be set up with the payout formulas. For a standard rodeo format, this is found in Settings, Manage Payouts and Placings. The settings here are used to determine what percentage of the prize purse should be paid to each entrant who places in the event. The settings here can become very complex, and in most cases, we will help set these up for new associations or help to change them when needed. This is essentially a set of logic steps that are applied to determine the payout splits. Settings can apply as a default, as rodeo specific, or as event specific. We will start with some of the definitions. The variable, that is what the setting is based upon, either the net purse value, the number of entrants, or the number of qualified scores. The operator is simply the arithmetic operator, how the comparison is applied, such as less than or equal, greater than, equal, etc. The value is the value of the variable that is to be evaluated, such as the dollar limit, the number of entrants or scores, etc. The percentage is the percentage of the prize purse that is paid out to the entrant placing in that particular position, and monies is the number of places to pay. So in this example, when the net purse is less than or equal to $1,000, then we will pay out 4 places at 40%, 30%, 20%, and 10%. Generally, when we set up the payouts and placing settings, we will start at the bottom or the lowest value and work our way up to the highest value. For this demo, we are going to delete this top value or the highest value and then replace it as our example. So we will delete it, and then we will go into Add, and as mentioned, these settings can be set so that they are rodeo specific, only applying to that specific rodeo, event specific, in which you can choose multiple events if that is the case, or the default is that it would apply to all unless overridden by something more specific. So we are using the net purse value as the variable. We are looking for a value which is greater than 3,000. The percentage, which I copied earlier and just paste in there, and then we're paying out to 8 places, and then we hit the save button. So again, there we have it. When the net purse is greater than $3,000, we will pay these percentages to 8 positions. And no matter what order we enter all of these settings in, it is going to sort it by the value column. As you can see here, we have a event-specific setting for team roping, which is based on, and we'll start at the bottom level here. So we'll just explain this one. So anything which is net purse of less than or equal to $2,500 is going to pay out these percentages to the top 4 placings. And then net purse of greater than $2,500 is paying 6 places to these percentages, and anything greater than $5,000 will pay these percentages to 8 places. So setting up the event-specific levels or tiers is the same. We'll delete this and go through the same process. We would add. It is not rodeo specific. It is team roping specific. If it also applied to another event, we would simply click that event as well. In this case, it is based on net purse being greater than, as we said, it was $5,000, the percentages, which I have copied elsewhere, and the number of places to pay, or the monies, and we save that, and there it is back in the settings. So for all events other than team roping, it will use these payout settings. For team roping, it will use these payout settings. Basically, the difference here is the value of the net purse determining how many places to pay out. For rodeo associations that assign points based on placing, you will need to also go to Settings, System Settings, Settings, System Settings, and we will scroll down to First Place Points, which is down our list a fair ways here. And as you see, we've entered an 8 in here that was entered before, and so we will normally enter the points as well as the how many points to deduct between each place. And then we would scroll to the bottom of settings and save the settings. If your rodeo format is a multi-go rodeo, then the payout settings you will also need to set are in Settings, Manage Multi-Go Payouts. And we will start with the definitions here as well. Monies is the number of places to pay. Percentage is the purse for that go that would be paid to entrants who place in this go. The purse is the proportion or the amount of the total purse that is paid out in this go. Points are the number of points awarded to the entrant placing first in this go. The points decrement is how much to deduct from first to each successive placing. The draw order is in which order or how is this go, the draw order, how is it generated in the draw generation. Handle ground is what to do with any ground money, which is simply do we pay it or do we not. And then ground zero is how do we handle ground money if there are no qualified rides in a go. Do we simply drop it and it returns to the association? Do we carry that to the next go, or do we carry it to the average for rodeo formats with an average? So in most cases, we will actually leave the monies and the percent blank. And what it will do simply, as we explain here, is it will carry the payout calculations from what we just set up to these settings as well, based on the events that they applied in before. So we'll just do a quick look at these by editing. So if we look at this, it is a two-go rodeo format that this is set up for. We are not entering anything specific for rodeos or events. As I said, we will default to using the payout settings that we set up previously. We are assigning half of the purse to go 1 and half of the purse to go 2. It is paying a maximum of 8 points with a decrement of 1. And this is where we get into the draw settings. So the first go is going to be drawn in random order, and then the second go will be drawn in reverse order. So the settings here, obviously the first one is typically random, but for the second go, it can be random again. We can repeat the draw order from the previous go. We can have it as reverse, so first becomes last, last becomes first, or it can be based on standings, which is a more advanced form of doing this, that your season standings determine the ordering for the run order. Handle ground, as we said, is either it's paid out or it's not paid out. And the handling of ground money, if nobody places in that go, we can drop it, we can add it to the next go, or it can be forwarded to the average if it is a format with an average. So we would simply save that, and if we had made any changes, those would be recorded here. So we'll also look at this other format, 2-go plus average, and we'll see how this changes. So we have a 2-go plus average, so go 1, go 2, and average is over here in this column. So here we have set up the portion of the purse that is available to be paid out in each go somewhat differently. So 25% is paid in go 1, 25% is paid in go 2, and the average is the remaining half of the pot is paid to the average. And we are using 8 points, 8 points, so we should be consistent with 8 points here as well. Again, these can be set, usually random is used for the first go, and then how this second go is, again, can use any of those options. We are paying ground money, and in this case, any ground money that is not paid out because there are 0 people placing in this go, we are carrying it to the average. So ground money not paid out here would be allocated to the average. And then we simply save. Now that we have all the payout settings in place, we will see how to enter results. We will go to Results, Enter Results Unofficial. And we would select the rodeo. We would select the event. We're going to use Saddle Bronc here. And initially when this report loads, it will be in the performance and run order. So in this case, performance 1 and run order, followed by performance 2 and its run order. So it will follow the draw for entering your results. So when entering scores, if an entrant does not record a score, such as in many rough stock events where they don't complete the ride, then simply leave that entry blank. If they are an out because they don't show up, or they're a vet med out or that type of thing, then make sure to select the appropriate out here. So in the case of a vet med out, their entry fees would be removed from the prize money, and then the payouts will be calculated. In the case of the rest of the outs here, the entry fees are left in the payouts, and they are simply not eligible for any payouts. So we'll just go and enter some scores. And through the magic of editing, we now have some scores recorded. As you can see, we have some people who did not record a score. We have somebody in the vet med out, and more scores down below. Once you have entered all the scores, click the Submit Results button, and this will then give us a bit of an accounting of the purse calculations. So this event had some added money. The entry fees totaled $720. The gross purse, there's an admin fee applied. So the net purse is what's remaining. Remember, there was one entrant who was a vet med out, so their numbers are not included in that entry fee. And the number of entrants is 9. The format was a standard, and it tells us that this is going to pay out 6 placings in descending order of their score, and the payout percentages will be as shown here. So when we scroll down, we will see the results of these calculations, and highest score is placing first. It was paying out to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 places, and we can see here the money and the points awarded as per those formulas. So after entering this event, you would select another event, and when those scores or times are available, you can enter those. Once you have entered all the times, or at any point really, and you want to look at what the results for this event or other events may look like, we can go to Results, Rodeo Results Preview. And so this is the same view as the members would see, but an important note here, we are in admin preview mode, so all results are displayed as official, as all results are shown irregardless of what display settings we have set. So here we can see Saddle Bronc, and again, this is the results for the rodeo. And so here we have our first place finisher showing the score, the money won, if there was any ground money, points, and the total dollars. If this was a multi-go rodeo, we would see multiple columns for scores and money, and a total column again for scores and for money and points. So again, as the admin, currently you are the only person that can see these results because we are in preview mode. So to change that so that your members can start to see some results, we would go to Rodeo Setup, Manage Rodeos, and edit the rodeo that we're working on, and we will click Show Results on Web, which makes it available to the public, to the members, and we save the rodeo settings. And at this point, it's also going to give us, similar to the Show, Draw, and Draw Officials buttons, we can send an email notification to the members that the results are available online with a link to look at the result. At this point, the results are unofficial, as that is the button we have selected. And we'll take a quick look at what we can see there for a member who is not logged in. I'll just switch to another browser. So here is the view from a member who is not logged in. And so what can be seen as unofficial results at this point is for each event we can see who placed in what order, the score or the time that they received. But what is not shown, because results are still unofficial, are any money winnings or points awarded. So once you are ready to show the results as official, including any money or points that have been awarded, we would go back to the admin system. We would manage that rodeo again, and we will click on Show Results as Official, and then scroll to the bottom of our rodeo settings and save that. And again, we have a message here that we can send an email notification, and this would be for the official results. So again, if we click that button, it will send the email along with a link. And when they click on the link in the email, they would be able to see for Rodeo Demo 2, it would now be showing official results, scores, money, any ground money paid out, any points won. And again, if it was a multi-go rodeo, there would be multiple columns of goes here, and then total money and total points. Now, if for some reason, after you have entered and calculated all results, if you need to make manual adjustments, you can use Results, Review Results Official. And we can select our Rodeo Demo 2. We'll go back to Saddle Bronc, and it will pull up those same results that we saw in Results, Enter Results, and it will display all of these fields as fields that you can edit. And if you edit them manually, essentially what it does is it overwrites the values that were calculated before. So let's say for some reason this rodeo awards 10 points, 10 additional points to whoever places first in Saddle Bronc. We'll add 10 more here to turn our 8 into 18, and then we would submit and save this. And it does not recalculate the results. It simply uses the values in these fields to store to the database for results. So it is important to know here that if you go back to Results, Enter Results, and then resubmit the scores, it will overwrite any manual adjustments that you have made here. Let's also take a look at season standings and the effect that making a rodeo official has on how the standings are calculated. So before we do that, let's go back to managing this rodeo, and let's turn off the display of results. So we are back to a rodeo that has not been marked as official or show results. And from the admin side, what we can do is we can go to Results, Season Standings, Preview. So when we do this, this is the same season standings report that the members are able to see. The exception here again is we're in admin preview mode as per this message up here. And so all rodeo results are entered, all rodeo results entered are displayed as official. So it is adding in this case, it will have all of the results that we have entered in for Rodeo Demo 2. So it will include Demo 1 and Demo 2. So let's have a look at this. Remember, we do not have this rodeo marked as official yet. So let's have a look from the member side. So here is the member side, and again, it does not have a message here that says it is in admin preview mode. Here we can see our first place Saddle Bronc member has 318.71 winnings. And when we were in the admin preview mode, those winnings were 600, just over 600. So on the admin side, it was including both Rodeo 1 and Rodeo 2. On the member side, it is including only Rodeo 1 because we have not marked this rodeo as official. So I'll quickly go mark it as official and be right back. So now that I have turned on Show Results as Official in the rodeo settings, we are back in the season standings, and let's simply refresh this view. And we now see that Saddle Bronc, where previously we had the leader as 318.71 in winnings, now has 600.03, and it is updated to show that it is including Rodeo Demo 2. That is the end of Chapter 10, the Rodeo Management System demo on entering and calculating results, including viewing rodeo results and viewing standings and some of the settings within Managed Rodeos to determine when to show the results and such to the members. So next up will be Chapter 11, Reports. We will see you at Chapter 11.